Is the confusion of what to do or what to say after she asks for space the reason why you won't get her back? Because today in this video, I'm gonna tell you exactly what to say and what to do to win her back after she wants space. We're gonna do this through the story of Kevin and how he got his wife back in only 7 weeks after she moved out, asked for a divorce, and said she wanted space.
You followed the program and now you guys are, she's like, I wanna give us another shot.
Because my life is going to be so much better. I'm going to have a marriage. That's great. But just in general, my well-being is so different.
And the crazy part about all this is it only took him 3 steps to win her back. Now, this is Kevin. He is a goal-driven, very successful, strategic mastermind. Oftentimes, when I have guys join my marriage mastery program, they're very successful men that are very logical and they know how to have peak performance in their career. However, the skills, attributes, and ways of seeing the world don't apply to the relationship context with their wives. You see, the reason why marriage counseling doesn't work for these types of men, maybe even yourself, is because in marriage counseling, what I used to do, we would just talk about the problems from an emotional basis. What men like Kevin need is a strategic game plan with action steps and tools, pretty much a roadmap saying this is exactly what you have to do and say day by day to get your goal. Once you take someone with Kevin's ability who can simply execute, probably like yourself, then the task of getting her back actually becomes pretty effortless. In fact, if you're like most men who never understood a game plan or what really causes a wife to pull away and not knowing what to do or what to say, you'll end up doing the wrong things that causes friction. It's like taking this round hole and taking a square peg and just trying to jam them together. It's just gonna cause a lot of friction, so don't do that. All right, so let's look at the first thing Kevin did to win his wife back after she asked for space. Now, the very first step I have clients do when they enter my marriage mastery program is to identify the core level reasons for why their wife really left. You see, most men think it's money or it's religion. I had a guy the other day tell me, he's like, Josh, I think my wife left me because I don't love dogs as she does. It's like, all right, man. The way I kind of go around that one is to say something like this. Look, when you first met her, she knew you didn't like dogs, but yet you guys worked out. So actually there's a deeper core level reason as to why she really doesn't like you. And you're trying to latch onto these logical reasons that she's given you to justify her emotional feelings. Once Kevin identified the core level reasons about why his wife really left, he started to create the CLC reports or closed loop change reports.
So what happened is it came to this head and, she was like, I want to go to trial. And so she pushed for all that, but I never stopped sending. I guess they were my modified version. I told Antonio, I'm going to send her like my modified CLCs. This is what I'm doing. I'm getting better.
Once you're able to identify the core level reason and then convey that to your wife, that more than anything else shows her that you have authentic change because she's holding on to all this stuff from the past because she didn't feel like you validated her or understood her and how you actually impacted her with your actions. When she brought up these emotions to you, you used logic and justification and defense mechanisms. And she's like, well, you know what? You just don't understand me. And so this wound just kept on getting bigger and bigger over time. However, when you go back and use these CLCs the correct way, and you're saying, hey, I understand now through my actions, I made you feel this core level deep emotion, unappreciated, isolated, just not respected. And I really understand how you felt. She's able to cut that anchor from the past off and move forward toward a future with you. Now, the second concept that Kevin picked up, without even me directly telling him, he just understood from the way I communicated these tenets to him, was rowing versus sailing. You see, what most men do when their wife or girlfriend asks for space is that they try to cling on, they try to force, they try to use logic and just say, no, but come here, look at all the memories and the kids and all these things. You have to come to me, please, don't leave me, right? You're trying to force things. You're trying to swim upstream. You're trying to row the boat. And women feel that forcing, needy energy. It is repulsive to them. Repulsive. And so what Kevin understood was to go with the flow. Here's an example.
The next day, she asked not to get a divorce. So I went and spent 5 days over there, and they were great. And we talked like you were telling me. And I wrote in my post to the group, everything that she said was in our program. I want to feel safe when I talk to you. I don't want you to react anymore. No more temper tantrum. And then the other thing she said is, I want to feel like I'm in a home and it's our home.
Actually, in Chinese philosophy, this is called Wu Wei, and Alan Watts talks about it right here.
It's the principle of not forcing in anything that you do. Now, we know when we watch any performance of an artist, be it a dancer or an actor, or a musician, We know immediately when the performance is forced. And we say it doesn't ring true, it's too artificial, it doesn't seem to be natural. Wu Wei is the art of sailing rather than the art of rowing.
It seems so illogical. Most men will say this.
Wait, Josh, you're telling me that if I stop trying to get her back and I let her go, she'll come back to me? How does that make sense?
From the logical perspective, this doesn't make sense. But she's leaving you from an emotional perspective. She feels the neediness from you. And a woman needs, not wants, needs to be with a man that doesn't need her. Where your higher purpose is other things. Where your life is better with her, but you don't need her. You're happy without her. And you can best convey that when she pulls away and you don't try to grab on and pull her back. You give her the space, but you keep the door open and you convey that you still want her to come in. Now, the last reason that Kevin and I identified as to why he found so much success so fast in the program was due to his learning. You can see this learning model. It has different levels or percentages of how you master a skill. Now, winning your wife back, developing these emotional responsive skills, giving insight, these are all skills and habits you can develop. Now, unfortunately, at the very top, only 10% of retaining information is through reading books. This is why books on relationships never work long term. Now, videos like this, audio visual, are about 20 to 30%. They do help, but they're not enough. You must take action, which is 70% of mastering a skill. This is why when you really want to get your wife back, if she's pulling away or you want to improve your marriage, you must know exactly what to do with the tools and strategies to take the longest path of learning from the head to the heart. And the beauty about the Marriage Mastery Program is the 90%. You see, the reason why I don't suck that much at relationships anymore is because I teach this every day to guys, right? And so when you can teach anything yourself, for example, I know for a fact in your career, you could probably teach a college class on it because you know it so well. The thing is that when guys come into the program, the way we set this program up with the group material and partnering and all these things we do and the exercises, men are able to teach other men the insights they're learning. And what that does is it has a positive feedback loop when they're teaching others. It also reinforces the ideas in their mind and they take action through it more congruently. For example, the other day in our group, we run the group twice a week with the men in the program. One of the guys, he said how his wife was just like, she's not ready yet. And he was so frustrated and he took that as a negative response. It's that whole adage that you can't see the forest when you're in the trees. And when you're in the trees, those trees are your emotions. But with other men in the program, I didn't have to say anything. All the guys stood up and they're like, dude, Dan, she said not yet. That means she wants to give you a chance. There's still time. She's testing you. Stay on the path. And after 4 or 5 guys said this to him, he had so much motivation and that moved him forward toward another win. And this is one of the things Kevin also developed in the program. He immersed himself and he got the results quick. So if you want the ability and the chance to set up a call to join our Marriage Mastery Program, click the link down below. It's a free call, but you must be fully committed to saving your marriage and getting your wife back. Thank you for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.